People have always attempted to forecast events and gain insight into what might be ahead. The statistician and technician, along with the professional trader, have continually updated the traditional method of chart analysis, which is based on open, high, low, close bars or point and figure charts. Yet preceding these methods by over 100 years, the Japanese were creating their own technique for analyzing markets. Japanese rice merchants began trading forward rice contracts or empty baskets in 1654, and this practice soon evolved to become what is known to the Western technician as candlestick charting, because the lines that make up the charts resemble candles. Historically, the Japanese were among the first nations to use technical analysis in their trading. Japan is also home to the world's first futures market, which dates back to the 17th century. Trading in rice futures brought forth a lot of speculation, and this speculation gradually resulted in the birth of the Japanese technical analysis, which many decades later, in its turn, played a huge role in the development of the Japanese candlestick charting. Candlestick charting is an ancient form of charting technique that has its roots in 18th century Japan. The history of the Japanese candlestick charting has a lot to do with a great trader named Munehisa Honma. Some references use Sokyo, and some use Munehisa as a name. Born in 1724 into a wealthy family, Munehisa Honma took over control of his family business in 1750, the year when he began trading at his local rice exchange in the port city of Sakata, Japan. The Honma family was considered so wealthy that there was a saying that time, "I will never become a Honma, but I will settle to be a local lord." Being among the first and most famous people in Japan to use past prices to predict future price movements, Honma made a huge fortune trading in the rice market during the 1700s. Nicknamed the God of the Markets, it is believed that Honma had once achieved 100 consecutive winning trades. Considering that Honma was from Sakata, it is not unusual in Japanese candlestick literature to come across the expression Sakata's rules. This expression actually refers to Munehisa Honma. Honma understood the cyclical repetition of the same patterns and prices on rice trading futures. This is why he decided to exploit this idea and plan his own speculative strategy. In the late years of his career, Honma became a financial consultant to the government and was given the honored title of samurai before passing away in the year 1803. According to some Japanese and Western sources, Honma's trading principles covered in his excellent writings about the markets called Sakata Senyo and the Soba Sanonode later evolved into the candlestick methodology currently used in Japan and many other places over the entire world to analyze the financial markets. Honma's family had a huge rice farming estate. Their power meant that information about the rice market was usually available to them. In addition, Honma kept records of yearly weather conditions. In order to learn about the psychology of investors, Honma analyzed rice prices going back to the time when the rice exchange was in Yodoya's yard. Honma also set up its own communication system. At pre-range times, he places men on rooftops to send signals by flags. These men stretch the distance from Osaka to Sakata. After dominating the Osaka markets, Honma went to the trade in the regional exchange at Edo. His prestige was such that there was the following folk song from Edo. When it is sunny in Sakata, it is cloudy in Dojima and rainy at Kuramai. In other words, when there is a good rice crop in Sakata, rice prices fall on the Dojima rice exchange and collapse in Edo. This song reflects Homma's sway over the rice market. Homma kept many records in order to learn about the psychology of investors. His studies helped him understand that the initial entry into a trade must not be rushed. According to Homma, if you feel compelled to rush into a trade because you believe that you just can't lose, wait 3 days to see if you still feel the same way. If you do, you can enter the trade probably quite successfully. All of the patterns and formations based upon Sakata's method are taken from 160 rules that Homma wrote when he was 51 years old. Sakata's method in turn is what is now considered the beginnings of candle pattern recognition. Candlestick charting was not actually developed by Homma, only pattern philosophy that goes with it. His approach has been credited as the origin of current candlestick analysis. Sakata's method, as originated and used by Homma for basic chart analysis, deals with the basic yin and yang candle line along with 2 additional lines. The concept is centered around the number 3. The number 3 appears often in traditional analysis as well as in Japanese charting techniques. Sakata's method is a technique of chart analysis using the number 3 at different points and times in the market. Sakata's method can be summarized as Sanzen, 3 mountains, Sansen, 3 rivers, Sanke, 3 gaps, Sanpe, 3 soldiers, Sanpa, 3 methods. From this it should be obvious that San refers to the ubiquitous number 3. Japanese tradition held that the number 3 has divine power. Many of the candlestick patterns are based on the number 3. Though the candlesticks have been in existence for a long time in Japan and are probably the oldest form of price analysis, the Western world traders were clueless about it. It is believed that something around 1980s a trader named Steve Nielsen accidentally discovered candlesticks and he introduced the methodology to the rest of the world. He authored the first ever book on candlesticks titled Japanese Candlestick Charting Technique, which is still a favorite amongst many traders. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe because I will release many videos soon. See you in next video.